Before the conversation even starts, before you've said a single word, your heart is already doing something. Your chest is already tight. Your brain is already running through everything that might go wrong. And the person you're about to talk to hasn't even looked at you yet. That's the part that's hard to explain. The nervousness doesn't start when things go wrong. It starts before anything happens at all. It starts in the anticipation, in the waiting, in the 10 seconds before you open your mouth. You know this feeling. Maybe it's before a phone call you've been putting off for 3 days. Maybe it's the few minutes before a meeting where you know you'll have to speak. Maybe it's walking towards someone at a social event, rehearsing your opening line in your head before you've even made eye contact. Maybe it's something as small as being about to reply to a message and feeling a physical tightening in your chest that makes no rational sense whatsoever. And in all of these situations, the nervousness is arriving before the thing that's supposed to cause it, before any rejection, before any awkward silence, before anything actually goes wrong. Your nervous system is responding to something that exists entirely in the future, something that hasn't happened and might not happen at all. Here's what's actually happening inside you. And I want to say this in a way that's clear, because understanding it changes how it feels. The nervousness you feel before social interaction is called anticipatory anxiety. Your brain, the part that monitors for threat, cannot clearly distinguish between something that is happening and something that might happen. When you imagine a difficult conversation, your body begins to respond as if that conversation is already occurring. The heart rate rises. The chest tightens. The mind accelerates. Not because something is wrong right now, but because your brain has simulated something that might go wrong and treated the simulation as real. This is actually a sign of an extraordinarily active imagination. Your brain is capable of generating a full emotional experience from a future scenario that exists only in thought. The problem is that it's using this capacity not to create or dream, but to rehearse danger, to pre-experience a threat, to feel the fear before the thing it's afraid of has had the chance to arrive. And here's the deeper reason this happens. The reason that goes below psychology and into something more human. When you feel nervous before talking to someone, what you're really afraid of is not the conversation itself. It's the evaluation that might come with it. The moment where another person has the opportunity to form an impression of you, and that impression might not be the one you want them to have. This fear, the fear of being evaluated and found lacking, is one of the oldest fears in human experience. We are a social species. Our sense of self is partly constructed through how we are seen by others. And the moment before a social interaction is the moment of maximum vulnerability, the moment just before the other person has had the chance to decide what they think of you. The outcome is still open, and open outcomes, to an anxious brain, are terrifying. What makes this especially hard is the exhaustion of it. The nervousness before the conversation is often more draining than the conversation itself. By the time you've actually started talking, something in you has usually settled. The brain gets information. The person is friendly. The tone is okay. The world hasn't ended, and the alarm begins to quiet. But in the waiting, in the anticipating, in the rehearsing of every possible version of how it might go, you've already spent so much energy. You arrive at the conversation already tired, already worn down by a fear of something that, in most cases, turned out to be nothing. If you recognize this, if you've ever felt your heart quicken before a conversation that everyone around you seemed to approach without a second thought, I want you to know something important. The nervousness is not evidence that you are socially broken. It is not evidence that the conversation is going to go badly. It is your brain doing something it learned to do, running protective simulations, generating warnings, trying to prepare you for a threat it detected in the anticipation of human contact. The threat it detected was the possibility of being seen and not being enough, of being evaluated and falling short. That fear has roots, real roots, in real experiences where being seen in the wrong way had a real cost. But here is the thing about anticipatory anxiety that the brain never tells you. The gap between what it predicts and what actually happens is almost always enormous. The conversation it warned you about, the interaction it told you to dread. In most cases, it was okay, often more than okay. Your brain is a very poor predictor of how social moments actually feel when you're inside them. The nervousness before talking to people is not proof that you can't handle it. It's proof that you care about connection more than most people would ever guess. And that caring, however much it costs you in the anticipation, is also the thing that makes you worth talking to.